위자가 안 나왔어.すごい燃えた。
美味しそうだね。
See you next time, man. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
美味しいよね。
wind is a big factor. So don't be too ashamed of wildfire. They will not always listen to authority, so take precaution.